Hi everyone, welcome back to English via English. So I'm going to talk about a literary device or figure of speech today, which is known as tautology. So tautology is a device or a figure of speech which is very often found in literature, especially in poetry and drama, but in modern day prose or in day-to-day prose, we must avoid it. It is a type of error, not any grammatical error or any spelling error or any punctuation error. Nonetheless, it is an error because a specific idea or a specific application is used twice, which is unnecessary or redundant. So let us come across 12 situations or 12 scenarios where very often, knowingly or unknowingly, we apply this literary device called tautology, which should be avoided at any cost. All right, so let's take off 6 sentences first, 6 situations first, and then the remaining 6. So the problem is that in all the 6 sentences or contexts, we have what is known as tautology. And tautology, as I said a bit earlier, that it is unnecessary repetition of the same idea or same application. Take for example the first one, it was an unexpected surprise. Now grammatically perfect, but look at these two words, unexpected adjective and the noun surprise. Now whatever is a matter of surprise is of course unexpected, so a surprise will always be unexpected. That's why this adjective is redundant or unnecessary over here. So we can do two things over here if we want to correct the sentence. So we have to drop the adjective straight away, then the sentence will be correct. It was a surprise. Or if we want to retain the adjective unexpected or an unexpected, this phrase, then we have to change this noun. In that case, we have to bring in a word, equivalent word, which is rather neutral. Therefore, the two versions over here are now correct. It was a surprise or it was an unexpected incident, and both the sentences are free from tautology because no application has been used twice or applied twice. Then number 2, he was the best teacher whom I have ever met in my life. So apparently the sentence is grammatically correct, but yes, the germ of tautology is present in this sentence as well. How? Here, look at this sentence, the noun teacher. First, this common noun teacher has been specified, highlighted through the superlative degree best. That means the common noun teacher is now highlighted. We are doing the same thing through this relative clause beginning with a relative pronoun. That means whom, this relative pronoun and the superlative degree best both are doing the same function to highlight or to specify the noun teacher. And the rule is we can maintain or retain any one of the two, and then in that case we have to maintain or retain the superlative degree and we have to drop the relative pronoun whom. Then the sentence will be correct. He was the best teacher I ever met in my life. So the relative pronoun should be dropped if we use the superlative degree before the antecedent, the teacher over here. Next, number 3, what have you said is his name? Interrogative sentence, but here we see that we have 2 segments. Have you said? So this is interrogative sentence pattern. The auxiliary verb is coming before the subject. Okay, so have coming before you, fine. Therefore, the rest of the sentence, what is his name, is again in interrogative sentence pattern. That means interrogative sentence pattern applied twice, but we have to use interrogative sentence pattern only once. Now in this sentence we have to maintain this part. This interrogative sentence pattern will be retained, but the rest of the part which is in interrogative sentence pattern should be converted into assertive sentence pattern, and therefore what, this auxiliary verb should go after the noun or the noun phrase. Here his name is the noun phrase, the auxiliary verb should go after it to make it assertive sentence pattern. Now the correct version is, what have you said his name is? Okay, that is the correct version without any element of tautology whatsoever. Next, number 4, after having finished the task, he went home. Very, very important, because here we have employed an idea of before and after. One through the preposition after, and the second through the perfect participle having finished. Remember, whenever there is the employment of perfect tenses, be it present perfect, past perfect, or future perfect, the idea is completion. Here, having finished, this phrase or this perfect participle is already containing the idea of after. Okay, that's why the preposition at the beginning is redundant, unnecessary. We can simply say, having finished the task, he went home. That is the correct version. Now, if we want to retain after this preposition, then this perfect participle should be converted into present participle. Like, after finishing the task, he went home. Okay, so two versions in two different ways, free from tautology. Number 5, they gathered together for a picnic. Apparently correct, but here the preposition together is the culprit over here, because the verb gathered indicates coming together. Okay, meeting together. Okay, again we are applying this preposition together, so one application applied twice, or one application given to different expressions. First through the verb, then through the preposition. So together, this idea is already inherent in this verb gathered. Therefore, together is not needed. So the correct version is, they gathered for a picnic. Now again, if we want to retain the preposition together, then we have to change the verb gathered. We have to bring in a neutral verb. Okay, in that case, we will get the sentence like, they came together for a meeting. Okay, came verb is a neutral one. Okay, so two versions, both are correct, both can be written because they are free from what is known as tautology. Then number 6, he will be being awarded in the next meeting. Very, very important again, because this is the passive version of a forceful passive version, I would say, of future continuous tense. And you know that we can't convert a sentence in future continuous from active to passive, simply because, remember, in passive voice we usually get be or its derivatives like am, is, was, were, being or been, but we must not have be or being together, be or been together, or being and been together. Okay, because in that case there will be a mismatch of idea, clash of ideas. So here will be is already passive, that we apply in case of future indefinite or simple future. Then being is coming in. The idea is that something will happen and at the same time happening. So how can these two ideas coming together? So being should be dropped from this sentence. He will be awarded in the next meeting. And if you want to retain being, then will be should be dropped. We can write in that case, he is or was being awarded in the meeting. Okay, so have your correct version either the first way or the second way. All right, so these are the 6 contexts. So let us come across 6 more contexts where the same problem happens and we unknowingly commit mistakes by applying unnecessary repetition of the same idea. All right. Okay, then number 7, very, very important. So is number 12, because here when we write complex sentences we commit a serious mistake. I'm coming to that later on. So first, number 7, he asked me, where do you live? Now this is a sentence pattern or an arrangement in direct speech or direct narration. Here, where do you live within the quotation is the reported speech, while asked is the reporting verb. Now the situation is, I am doing the same thing twice. So same idea repeated twice. First to the reported speech, because here I am asking something, about someone's place of living. And the same idea of asking is being expressed through the reporting verb asked. That means this is again the impact of tautology or the use of tautology. So what we have to do is, if we want to retain this reporting verb asked, then we have to convert this direct speech into indirect one by converting this interrogative sentence pattern into assertive sentence pattern, and of course removing the quote unquote and question mark. That is one way. The second way is we have to use some sort of a neutral verb here in this place of asked. That means if we want to retain the reported speech as it is, we have to use the verb said. Since we have the object me over here, a preposition to is needed. So he said to me, where do you live, is the correct version. The other one, as I said, is he asked me where I lived. So these are the two versions where we don't get any trace of tautology or unnecessary repetition of the same idea. Then number 8, again crucial, because we write or speak sentences like this in our mother tongue, and obviously we translate our mother tongue version into English into this pattern. So here we have a complex sentence. When shall I come back is the subordinate clause or the dependent clause, and you will get your money back is the principal clause. But the rule is, if we get a complex sentence like this, then we can't have both the clauses in future tense. The rule is the subordinate clause must be in present indefinite and the principal clause should be in future tense. Okay, in that case we have to drop the future sign shall from this subordinate clause. In that case the sentence will be correct. When I come back, meaning when I shall come back or when I will come back, but we must not write this or frame this subordinate clause in future tense pattern. It should be simply present indefinite. When I come back, you will get your money back is the correct version. Then number 9, equally important, unless you do not practice hard, you will lag behind. Now here again a complex sentence, the subordinate clause beginning with unless you do not practice hard. Remember, whenever we begin our subordinate clause with unless, the conjunction unless, that conjunction contains in it the idea of not or no already. That means we must not repeat that not or no again in that subordinate clause. So this not will be off since it came along with the auxiliary verb do. Do should be again or also dropped. So the correct version is unless you practice hard, comma, you will lag behind. That means remember blindly that if you begin your sentence with the conjunction unless, never ever have your subordinate clause beginning with unless in negative version. Keep it in affirmative and accordingly set your principal clause. Okay. Next, number 10, your performance is comparatively better this time. Now again we see that the idea of tautology is present over here. Now how? Here we have the comparative degree already in terms of better. Again we are having an adverb comparatively. So this adverb comparatively is indicating the idea of comparison. Again we are having the idea of comparison through the comparative degree better. So we have to retain any one of the two. Both cannot be retained. So first of all, straight away if we want to correct the sentence, this adverb should be dropped, like your performance is better this time, correct? And if we want to retain this adverb comparatively, then we have to use the positive degree of the adjective better, that is good, like your performance is comparatively good this time. So these are the two correct versions without the idea of tautology. Then number 11, how did it look like? We are giving the same impression or the idea through first the WH word how and then through this adverb like. Both are giving or they're doing the same function. So we can straight away drop like. How did it look? The correct version. And if we want to retain like, then we have to change the initial WH word how. We can replace it with what. In that case, the sentence will be, what did it look like? Finally, number 12, as I said, is very, very important. I do not know that they will come on time. Again, a complex sentence. Let us analyze this sentence. So first, I do not know is the principal clause. That they will come on time is the subordinate clause. No problem. And we see that the subordinate clause is beginning with that. And from this sentence, we also understand that the subordinate clause is a noun clause or a nominal clause. Now remember the simple rule to correct sentences like this, and that is, here the principal clause can be of two types. I am aware, I am not aware. My ignorance or my knowledge. If I express the idea of my knowledge or if I know, then the conjunction that will be perfect. Here, if we drop don't know, then the sentence is correct. I know that they will come on time. But if I retain do not, the negative version, then we have to use if or whether, because in that case, it is my ignorance. Take for example, I do not know if or whether they will come on time. That means, look at the difference in the principal clause. I know, I do not know. We can get principal clauses like I know, I am aware, I heard, I found out, I knew, all this. So that means my knowledge. But if we get the opposite, I do not know, meaning I never knew, I hardly knew, I could not know, in this way. So if we get our principal clause in these two different ways, remember, ignorance will take if or whether, knowledge will take that. Okay, that is the simple rule to remember. Alright friends, so these are the 12 situations or cases or contexts where we knowingly or unknowingly apply tautology, because tautology is something which is a matter of style, a matter of special effect, but in normal day-to-day prose, we must not use tautology. Rather, we must avoid it in our conversation or composition or writing. So that's it about this video today. I'll be back with another interesting video next for you with regard to grammar and of course correct uses. Till then, keep watching all the other videos available on this channel and get better day by day to get command over English and serve your motherland. Thanks for watching.